Some nights start with curiosity, others start with a whispered dare. And then there are nights like this where the heat, the sweat, and the scent of something undeniably filthy take over before you even realize what's happening. It was late, not quite 3 a.m., but close enough that the crowd at Steamworks Toronto had thinned just enough for the energy to shift. The first timers had either found their way into a private room or chickened out. The seasoned ones, the ones who knew exactly what they wanted and how to get it, were still lingering in the halls, in the playrooms, in the steam. We had already done a lap, played a little, teased a lot, bodies grazing in the dark, fingers tracing down arms and lower backs, eyes making promises that didn't need words. But it was the steam room that called to us, thick with heat, barely visible through the fog. Shadows moved, bodies merged, gasps, and groans swallowed into the mist. And then, just like that, he was there, the one, tall, broad, and standing just behind my boyfriend, his hands already exploring, his breath slow and measured against his neck. No hesitation, no second guessing. He knew exactly what he wanted, and I could only watch. The anticipation hit me first, harder than expected. My boyfriend was already pressed against the tiles, steam making his skin slick, his breathing uneven. The guy's hands roamed, teasing, gripping, positioning him exactly where he wanted him. I was transfixed, helpless, desperate, so turned on I could barely stand. The scene unfolding in front of me was too much, too good, too fucking hot. He hadn't even started, hadn't even pushed in yet, and suddenly I was done. No warning, no build-up, just one pulse, one shudder, and I was gone, spent before he had even taken what he came for. My boyfriend turned to look at me, smirking through the haze, and I could only bite my lip, dazed, wrecked, unable to move. "Already," he whispered, just as the guy behind him finally started. And I just stood there, still trembling, watching every second of it. Now, let me tell you something. Toronto is a cold city. Emotionally, I mean. You could spill your latte at Balzac's, and not a single person would offer a napkin. But this was different. I was fuming. Was I turned on? Absolutely. But was I also a little bit jealous that my boyfriend was having the time of his life, while I was standing there like some pervy narrator? Also, yes. I clenched my jaw, arms crossed like I was waiting in line for brunch at Lady Marmalade. My boyfriend was moaning, fully giving this man the greatest performance of his life, and I was just there, like an unpaid extra in my own relationship. By the time we made it back to our room, I was still reeling, still hard, still desperate to reclaim him. He was breathless, his body still flushed from what had just happened, his skin damp with sweat and someone else's release. I didn't care. If anything, it made me even hungrier. I pushed him down onto the mattress, crawled over him, felt the evidence of everything he had just taken, still slick between his legs. "That was hot," he murmured, still catching his breath. I didn't answer. I just spread him open and slid inside, claiming what was already mine. He moaned, back arching, his body still sensitive from the steam room. But I didn't go slow. I didn't hold back. I just took what was left of him. We didn't leave until we had nothing left to give. And when we finally did stumble out onto Church Street, the city was already awake. Pedestrians walking their dogs and pretending they didn't notice the absolute mess we looked like. Somewhere across from us, A man in a Canada Goose parka was sipping an oat milk latte, looking me dead in the eye like he knew. Maybe he did. Maybe he had been in the steam room too. Maybe this city wasn't so cold after all.